A saint, according to the Catholic Church, is someone officially declared to be in heaven and worthy of public veneration. But in reality, many who were canonized as saints were not examples of peace or humility, but of violence, conquest, and domination.
A saint, according to the Catholic Church, is someone officially declared to be in heaven and worthy of public veneration. But in reality, many who were canonized as saints were not examples of peace or humility, but of violence, conquest, and domination. Let's name some individuals who were involved in killings, colonization, or war, but were made saints by the Catholic Church. Actions. Though credited for making Christianity the state religion, Constantine also slaughtered rivals, executed his own son and wife, and used war to expand his power. As a saint in Eastern Christianity, he merged the sword with the cross, turning a spiritual movement into an imperial force. King and crusader led blue crusades against Muslims, burned Jewish texts, and persecuted heretics down in Aflevingiris. Died fighting in the name of God, not in service of peace, but of religious conquests. Conquest. Fought in the 100 Years' War, leading troops into battle. Though brave, she participated in warfare and killing. Sainted for her visions, but her path was soaked in blood. Austrian King of Spain, Hofen King of Spain, led wars against Muslim-ruled Spain, conquered cities, expelled non-Christians, canonized Sexton for one. Could take a holy warrior whose sainthood rewarded religious war and forced conversions. Christian Kima Perosero, missionary in California, helped establish missions that enslaved and brutalized Native Americans. Tomifficians were part of a colonial system that destroyed indigenous culture. The Catholic Church has a long record of crowning killers, colonizers, and inquisitors as saints, often justifying violence with religion. If righteousness is truly about love, justice, and peace, how then are war generals and inquisitors celebrated as holy? The word saint should mean someone close to God, not someone who spread death in God's name. The altar of blood, new names, new shadows. O Church, you speak of holy men and holy women, of saints crowned with glory, praise for piety. But the marble masks crack, and the rock shines through behind the veil of incense and ritual. More names rise, not as holy, but as cursed. Saint Cyril of Alexandria, the holy patriarch, he silenced philosophers, incited mobs, led to the brutal murder of Hypatia, a seeker of truth dragged from her chariot, flayed alive in holy silence. A holy man or a holy murderer, a bishop robed in blood. Say of Clairvaux, the holy voice of war, a preacher of the Second Crusade, a priest with a tongue like a blade, a holy rally for holy massacre. He spoke of holy glory as holy fields drank holy blood. A holy man, a holy general, a holy witness, a holy warmonger. Saint Dominic de Guzman, the holy inquisitor, founder of the holy order that hunted heresy with flame. He blessed holy pious, led holy trials, marked holy martyrs for holy death. A holy shepherd, a holy judge and holy executioner, a holy witness, a holy tyrant in holy robes. Saint Pius V, the holy pope of holy terror, excommunicator of queens, instigator of holy war, a holy hand upon holy gallows. He called it holy obedience, but holy obedience to what? To grace or to terror? To Christ or to the church's holy creed? Oh church, how many holy names bear the weight of holy crimes? How many holy crowns drip holy blood? How many holy altars rest upon holy graves?
The bloodied saints, when the altar crowned the sword.
Of the bloody saints when the altar crowned the sword. Of the bloody saints when the altar crowned the sword.
A saint, the church says, is holy. A saint, the church says, is an example for mankind. A saint, the church says, is a beacon of light. But when we peel the gilded veil, what do we find? Blood, conquest, deception. Names announced as holy, yet soaked in crimson. Oh church, is this your holy canon? Are these your shining lights? Men who conquered with steel and flame, women molded by war, priests made holy by cruelty. Saint Constantine, the great emperor of empire, murderer of wife and son, a ruler who molded the cross into a spear and claimed the kingdom of God as an army of swords. Saint Louis Axe of France, king of crusades, slayer of infidels and burner of Jewish scripture. A holy man, no, a holy warrior, whose God spoke only in war. Saint Joan of Arc, the holy maid with a blade, a girl called a saint for visions that led her to a path paved with death. A holy martyr, or a holy weapon wielded until broken by flame. Saint Ferdinand III of Castile, the holy conqueror, a saint adorned for burning mosques, expelling nations, forcing the conquered to pray to a foreign god or die. Saint Junipero Serra, missionary of misery, a holy mass for slavery, a holy hand for genocide, a holy tongue that spoke of Christ while a holy whip spoke louder. These were your saints, these are your holy names, names molded by conquest, names crowned by cruelty, names exalted by a church that baptized terror and called it holy. What holy book decrees the sanctification of butchers? What holy hand elevates the conquest the flesh? If this insanehood, what is Satan? If this is holy war, what is blasphemy? If this is mercy, what is tyranny? If God himself is silent as these saints raise the blade, then whose voice spoke the blessing? Whose hand placed the crown? Whose altar drank the blood? Oh, church, when the veil is torn and the truth is laid bare, will the heavens honor your holy names? Or will the earth rise to spit them out? The word saint was meant for those closer to the flame of mercy, but you gave it to those closer to the flame of conquest.
The reckoning of the blood-stained saints. The reckoning of the blood-stained saints. The reckoning of the blood-stained saints.
Oh, church of shadows, your saints were never holy, they were architects of agony. Your holy men were butchers and the world was their slaughterhouse. Their robes soaked in the blood of the conquered, their hands dripped with the spoils of nations. They came with crosses and left with crowns. They spoke of grace and unleashed terror. They claimed the voice of God and spoke with the voice of greed. Their holy water was poisoned with the cries of the broken. Their holy relics bear witness, splintered bones, dry blood, dust of the damned, damned. Today the earth roars their names with contempt. Today the soil vomits forth their treasures. Stolen gold molded into holy rings. Stolen lands adorned with holy names. Stolen lives buried under holy stones. Their miracles were massacres. Their visions were conquests. Their sermons were swords. Their holiness was the hammer that nailed nations to the cross. The heavens remember, the earth remembers, the bones remember, the tombs remember. The witness of the dead will not be silenced. Call them what they were, call them butchers, call them plunderers, call them tyrants draped in holy silk. Break the silence, break the altar, break the mask, break the spell, break the grip of holy terror. For the age of holy lies is over. The era of sacred tyranny is gone. The cries rise higher than incense. The earth shakes harder than bells. The dead whisper the verdict. Your saints were never holy. They were wolves in holy robes. Their glory was built on mountains of skulls. Their canonization was coronation for cruelty. Their relics stink of death. Their altars drip with blood. And the earth will never forget. And the dead will never forget. And the living will never forget. Break the silence, break the curse, break the lie, break the kingdom built on the bones of the broken. Never forget, never forgive, never fall silent again. Their saints were butchers, let the world remember, let the heavens bear witness.
The final reckoning.
purity. He hunted holy heresy, hunted holy scholars, hunted holy dissent. A holy priest or holy executioner, holy gatekeeper of holy silence. How many holy saints bear holy guilt? How many holy names were holy mass for holy cruelty? How many holy statues cast holy shadows upon holy graves? Oh, church, how long will you call holy what is cursed? How long will holy prayers cover holy genocide? How long will holy incense choke holy cries?
Your saints were killers, your holy men were butchers. Your altar dripped with blood, your relics stink of death. Your canonized names are chiseled on tombstones and cursed by the earth. They wore holy robes and called themselves fathers, but the soil knows them as tyrants. They spoke the tongue of mercy and drew swords with hands blessed by the church. They spoke the words of grace and set nations ablaze. They spoke the songs of peace and built thrones upon the ashes of the conquered. Their sainthood is a mask, their holiness is a tomb. Their glory is built upon skulls and ashes. Their relics are cursed by the cries of the forgotten dead. Call them what they were, call them murderers, call them conquerors, call them wolves in holy robes, call them predators whispering prayers, call them oppressors crowned with halos, call them architects of agony, call them gods of greed disguised as saints. The heavens remember, the earth remembers, the seas remember, the winds remember, the tombs remember, the unmarked graves remember, the holy ruins remember, the silence remembers. Their holy hands bled nations dry, their holy crosses branded the living as cattle. Their holy words silenced tongues, their holy swords erased names, their holy flames consumed the faithful and the frightened alike. Point to their thrones, point to their relics, point to their statues, point to their blood-stained hands, point to the ruins upon which their glory rests. Point to the holy scrolls that justify conquest. Point to the holy rings that sealed alliances in blood. Point to the holy buildings that rose upon sacred bones. Point to the holy treasures that were plundered from holy lands. Break the silence, break the spell, Catholic Church made murderers saints, but history remembers the bloodshed. Saints baptized in blood, anointed by cruelty, crowned by conquest. Behind every holy relic lies a trail of broken bones and broken lives. They preached salvation but left trails of massacre and terror. The church's saints were tyrants disguised as holy men, murderers draped in sainthood, hiding behind prayers and sermons. Saints who butchered innocents, their altars built on genocide. Blood-soaked hands lifted to heaven, how holy is that? Saints who crushed rebellions with fire and sword, did God bless their violence? The canonization of cruelty, when saints are killers in disguise. Their miracles, the silence of victims and the fall of entire peoples. The church sanctified terror, turning oppressors into icons. Holy men with unholy deeds, the sainthood allies soul to the faithful. Saints who spread disease, war and death under the cross's shadow. Did their prayers save souls or shackle them deeper in chains? The blood of martyrs and the blood of murders, both remembered differently by the church. The Catholic Church's saints are ghosts, haunting the bones of the oppressed. They wore halos but marched with armies. Saints are soldiers of empire. Saints who silenced drums and burned ancestral shrines. Holiness or horror, the church's saintly faces hide the scars of colonization and genocide. Saints who wielded power with iron fists, not gentle hands. Canonized cruelty, the legacy the church won't admit. Saints of the sword, apostles of annihilation, worship or warning. They spoke of peace while spilling rivers of blood, the true face of the sainthood. The blood of their victims cries out beneath the stained glass. Their legacy isn't salvation, it's subjugation wrapped in robes and prayers. Holy murderers made saints, the church's ultimate hypocrisy.
The reckoning of the bloodied saints.
Their silence is a tomb, their glory is a grave. Their holy names are cursed by the wind, their holy relics weep with guilt. The altar you built drank deep of holy blood. The chalice you raised overflowed with misery. The incense you burned masked the stench of burning flesh. The songs you sang the sword was their sermon, and conquest became canon. They did not kneel to become saints, they knelt only to draw the blade. Their prayers wrote on the backs of ships, iron chain, blood soaked, calling it mission. They came not